Good afternoon, music world. John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to rank the discography of Panopticon, who, if you're a fan of this channel, you will know that means a lot to me. Panopticon, aka the black metal project, the solo black metal project of Mr. Austin Lung. He's been at it for quite some time, actually, and over the years, I've been just enamored with his sound, his blending of classic black metal sounds, but also nods to bluegrass and Appalachian folk music. Between that and his often very direct and invigorating lyrical themes, he has become an absolute mainstay and a major reason why I just love black metal as much as I do, especially right now. Now, we are on the verge of getting 2 new records from Panopticon, both dropping in just a few short days, so I'm planning on putting this up just in time, a day or so before my reviews on those records drop. I will, of course, let you know where those albums rank in their discography for me, but for right now, I'm going to be ranking the 10 albums in the Panopticon discography, and as always, this is just opinion, folks, so let's just have some fun. Alright, I'm going to start things off at number 10 with The Scars of Man on the Once Nameless Wilderness from 2018. This is kind of an album that I don't really know what to make of after all these years. It is a double record. Here, Austin got the idea to split his sounds into 2 and release a double record. One of these which was much more black metal focused, the other one which was much more bluegrass focused. And unfortunately, I was kind of middle of the road on it when it dropped, and it's only lessened on me since it dropped. I mean, between the 2 records in this album, I mean, honestly, yeah, there's a couple of really great moments on here where things come together, but for my money, it's always been hearing the duality in Austin's music, hearing these sounds side by side and how they play off one another. That's always brought me to his music. But sadly, a lot of the music that we get on this record is just very average. I mean, the black metal portion, it's certainly intense and loud and wild, but it's also the home of some of Austin's more faceless moments as a black metal artist as well. And I can say a lot of the same things about the bluegrass portion. Like, yes, there are a few couple of tracks on here that are decent, but it's so much material for so less payoff. And I also am aware that this is kind of looming once again, as Austin is dropping 2 albums very soon in the same vein, a black metal project and a more rustic bluegrass project. I really do hope it's a little bit more solid this time around. All right, up next at number 9, I am going to put the band's self-titled debut, as a matter of fact, the 2008 Panopticon record. Yeah, after all this time, I'm still not that crazy about the debut record. I mean, I will give it credit where it's due. It is heavy. It is freaking heavy. And if you want to hear Austin at his absolute most raw, I mean, this may be an album for you. Hell, if you are a black metal purist, this record also may very well be for you. But my main issue with this record is Austin was very clearly still kind of figuring things out here. And while it certainly is heavy and intense, he really didn't do as much to set himself away from the pack on this record. Also, the production is just very, very muddy. He can do better, and he has done a lot better. Right now, hear me out, y'all. At number 8, I'm going to put 2012's Social Disservices. I know this is a fan favorite, and I'll be chatting about on the subject of mortality very soon, but I have a lot of the same issues with that album as I do with this album. Let's get the good out of the way. As far as a heavy Panopticon record goes, look no further. This is a really great, loud, intense Panopticon project. It's a swirling, very focused black metal record with crushing highs and intense vocals. But once again, it also really doesn't have Austin really doing much to set himself far away from the crowd. This album kind of sounds like a Wolves in the Throne Room record from a mile away. And while it's on, it's exciting, it's hellish, but it also doesn't have a lot of the same elements that I would come to love with Austin's music, so I'm putting it here. And at number 7, I'm going to put On the Subject of Mortality, another crowd favorite. On one hand, aesthetically, this album is very solid. I will say this, up until this point, this is the most immersive thing that Austin put out. It's dark, it's grisly, and the atmosphere is really intense. Not only that, there are some pretty epic instrumental passages that I do really like. But at the same time, he put out Collapse only a few short years earlier, and I feel like that record is so much more interesting than this. I'm also not as wild about the production here, and the folk elements of this thing, I mean, yeah, they're here, but they're not nearly done as well as some of his later work. It's certainly good though, and I do understand why people love this record as much as they do. Now, at number 6, I'm going to put 2023's The Rhyme of Memory. And honestly, there's not really a lot wrong with the project. It's a very streamlined, well-produced, and well-performed black metal record. The metal portions are epic and almost whimsical at points. Folk elements are also really heartfelt and really personal. And not only that, but this is a beefy record. These tracks here, there's a 20-minute one and a couple of ones plus 15 minutes. And that's not going to be for everyone, but I've always felt like Austin performed the hell out of this project. I will say this though, for my money, this doesn't seem as much of a necessary record as, like, say, And Again Into the Light was. But it's just another great testament to Austin's sound. Now at number 5, I'm going to put 2012's Kentucky. Oh, hell yeah, this is a great record. This was one of my first real loves from the band, and hearing it was just a slap in the face. This is where things really started to click with Austin's music. You are getting the barreling, epic black metal portions. Hell, most of this record just sounds like the soundtrack of you speeding through the woods in the winter on horseback. And from that extent, it's explosive, it's raw, it's everything that I want to hear from Austin's music. But on top of that, Austin really started pushing his sound more on this record. The folk portions to this record are delicious. It brings that rustic, heartwarming charm to this record when it needs to. And as a result, yes, this is a metal record, but it's one that's ripe with history, folklore, and an immense appreciation for the genres in play here. It's epic and a great place to dive in. Now at number 4, I'm going to put 2009's Collapse. I mean, compare this to the Panopticon debut. It is amazing how far Austin came in such a little amount of time. Like I said, Austin on his debut sounded like he was putting things together still, seeing what fit and where. But this album is special. For one, the production is eons better. But more than anything, this is a very powerful record that's more than just a black metal record. It feels very necessary and almost timeless throughout. This is also the moment where Austin really took a head-first dive into the world of Appalachian folk music a lot more. And it's done so well. These epic black metal tracks up against these smoky, very whimsical folk tunes. It's powerful. Now at number 3, I'm going to put Roads to the North from 2014. And fun fact, this was actually the first time that I actually sat down and listened to a Panopticon project. I mean, if Kentucky was where really everything started coming together for Austin's music, this is where he turned things up. You're getting a lot here, and there's a lot of material here, an hour and 15 minutes worth. But my friends, the word here is a journey. This is one of the most epic records in Austin's discography. It's a true journey. The black metal portion of this record is absolutely paralyzing from how intense it is. It swirls with darkness and pain and so much more. And on top of that, the folk tunes here are much more rooted in Americana and bluegrass and are some of Austin's best. It is fantastic. And at number 2, I'm going to put 2015's Autumn Eternal. Yeah, by this point, I was fully on board with Austin's sound, and I just wanted to hear more and more of it. But this is the project that got me completely obsessed. It's a damn journey from start to finish. It's explosive and it's angry, but it's also really beautiful at points too. Dare I say, even a little catchy, or just catchy enough. And despite this thing being an hour long, once again with some pretty heady cuts, it never overstays its welcome and plays wonderfully. And as far as an atmosphere goes, I have never been more impressed with an atmosphere than right here. Also, the playing here is some of Austin's best. The drums are thunderous, the guitars are soaring, and for many years I would have considered this to be the Panopticon project. That is, until Austin went ahead and dropped my favorite Panopticon record and my 2021 album of the year, And Again Into the Light. Not only is this album here one of metal's greatest triumphs over the last decade, it's a lot more than that. In a lot of ways, this is the culmination of everything that Austin has done so far, compiled into one project. And if you know anything about Austin's personal life leading up to the release of this record, you will understand how emotionally and crushing this album really gets at times. It's not the band's heaviest or most progressive record, but is an emotional journey and an absolute gut punch from start to finish. One that really kind of gets more intense with every listen as well. And of course, all of this without letting go of the ferocity and intensity that the band has picked up over the years. It is a brilliant release. But let me know how you all would rank Panopticon's discography. And of course, when I drop my review of the new albums next week, I'll let you know where they fit in with this discography as well. Until next time, have a great day, friends.